Bina ma'am, thank you so much for being a part of this engagement, and we are really excited to hear what NMAT looks like. And one of the features of the NMAT that everybody is curious about, because there isn't a test like that exists in the Indian context, wherein it is completely adaptive. And a lot of people have a lot of questions in terms of how does it work. There are quite a few myths that we will touch upon as we go later. But how exactly is it that the adaptive pattern works in general? Or what would you like to say about that?
So adaptive exam is the gold standard of assessments. Our GMAT exam, our executive assessment exams are also adaptive, and so is NMAT. Now, there are two types of adaptives. One is section adaptive, one is question adaptive. GMAT and NMAT are question adaptive. When I say question adaptive, what it means is it adapts to the candidate's ability. So typically, when a candidate answers a question, bases the answer, the next question comes up. So you will start, let's say, a particular section, a particular topic with a medium question. You answer it well, you'll get a medium or a hard. But if you're not able to answer, you'll get a medium or a low. So it adapts to the candidate's ability. Yeah. So every candidate, based on their ability, will get a score which is accurately guessing his or her ability. That is an adaptive exam. If it is a non-adaptive exam, everybody gets questions of the same difficulty level. Yeah. So a candidate who is not as well prepared or not as confident will get a much lower score. And most of these exams also have negative marking.
Right.
Yeah. So you can get a 0 if, let's say, the number you got correct and the number you got incorrect. Yeah. The number you got correct is lesser than the number you got incorrect. Okay. Whereas an adaptive exam, since it adapts to your ability, it will give you questions which you would be able to answer. Your score will vary, obviously, based on what kind of questions you answered, but it's not that you will get a negative or a 0 score ever.
Right.
Yeah. So your ability is very nicely, accurately judged. Since there are multiple schools which accept our exams, not every school has the same cutoff. So the schools can define their cutoff by looking at the scores. They can judge the ability of candidates because they get the accurate scores of a candidate's ability. And also, even within a school, you have different cutoffs for different programs.
Right.
So the chances of candidate getting a program that he or she wishes for and the school getting the right candidate for their programs is much higher in an adaptive exam. That's the beauty of an adaptive exam.
Right. So again, I think that is a really fair way to test candidates, because again, if I administer one test to everyone, or maybe I administer it in certain windows, let's say for example, then what happens is, again, a lot depends on what one person's strengths / weaknesses are. If I get maybe 5 questions from a topic that are not my strength, it might not really be an indicator of my potential. So that way, I think adaptive makes a lot of sense to all the candidates who are taking the test. Now, in terms of adaptive nature of the test, you mentioned one thing, that it's question level adaptive and it's not section adaptive, right? So in terms of question level adaptive, a lot of times people say that there are some questions maybe towards the mid or towards the end of the section that are on the easier side as well. And then these people get really worried if their performance has been up to the mark or not, because the moment people start seeing easier questions, they assume that the test has figured out that they're not good enough, because of which they're getting easier questions. So is there something like that exists?
No, it's not that questions at the end of the exam are easier. It's how you answer. It could be harder also. Yeah. If you've answered them right, you'll get harder. Yeah.
Right.
It all depends upon your ability. It's not that the exam, there are 2-3 myths which we will discuss during the course of this discussion. One is that exam becomes easier towards the end. Another is that exam becomes easier if you take it in December. These are all myths. Yeah.
Right.
In an adaptive exam, questions come from a big pool. And these pools are also rotated throughout the exam delivery. Even I do not know which question, which pool is coming at any point of time. Okay.
Right.
Nobody knows. It's all automated. And candidates get questions based on their own ability. Yeah. And it's not that every single question is unique to every candidate. Yeah. It's a pool of questions. We don't know which question is you. Let's say both of us are candidates. What you are getting, what I'm getting. It could be same, it could be different, again, depending upon our abilities. So this is just, uh, rumors that is what I would say, that float, that questions become easier. That means I'm not up to the mark. Not necessarily. Okay. It's topic dependent also. There's a blueprint of the exam. Every exam has a blueprint. How many
Right.
easy, how many difficult, how many medium in each topic have to be tested. That's how you differentiate the scores and arrive at an accurate ability. Yeah. So it all depends upon the topic that you're giving, the section, the order in which you have, I mean, the not the order, I would say, the questions that you've answered. It all depends upon that. So it's not that it is always easier towards the end. That is a myth.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
If that was the case, there are a lot of times some candidates are unable to complete a section.
Right.
Yeah. So then if I have to add to that, if you don't complete a section, every section in NMAT is timed. So like, for example,
Right.
language is 28 minutes, quant is 52 minutes, and logical reasoning is 40 minutes. And one section's time doesn't get added to the next section if you have saved some time. But if you do not attempt all the questions, then there is a penalty levied.
Right.
Yeah. So it's all a myth that questions become easier as you go on. You probably start guessing because you've got lesser time towards the end.
Right. Right.
If you're not well planned and if you're not timing yourself well. Yeah. Because you're guessing, you feel questions are easy because now you don't have time. So you're doing it faster.
Right.
So that doesn't happen.
All right. Understood. So, of course, and the perception of people when they answer questions is different from what the reality might be. So I might feel that it's a difficult question, but in reality, it might be actually a manageable question. That could be the case as well. So that is
It will
where
all
there is
depend
this
upon your
conflict.
preparation.
Right.
As
Right.
you rightly said, it will all depend upon how well prepared are you.
Fair enough. Fair. So that is basically how the adaptive pattern works. So just to sum up this question, what exactly would be a good strategy for someone who is taking the test? Should they kind of go through as many questions as is possible, as quickly as is possible, or can they take time at the beginning and maybe towards the end they can accelerate?
Look, they know there are 36 questions in every exam, correct? Now, I mean, every section, sorry, not every exam, every section, there are 36 questions. They have to look at what their comfort is. Yeah, because questions come, you can't specify the order within a section. You can choose the section that you want to do first. Okay, now it all depends upon the candidate's comfort. Some candidates may want to do the toughest section first because that's how they feel that once I get over with that section, then I can look at the lowers, the ones that I'm more comfortable with. Some may think, let me finish with the ones that I'm more comfortable with first and then go to the section that I feel is hardest for me. Now, that's a candidate's self strategy. Yeah. But within the section, you know which are the topics. If you understand and if you have gone through the, rigorous preparation and have even looked at the prep exams that we provide, free and
Right.
paid, both are available. 4 exams that you can, two free exam attempts and 4 paid prep attempts. You have to pay twice, but in each payment you get 2 attempts. Yeah.
Right.
So then you can understand the pattern of the exam and time yourself. Basis that you can decide which section and which topic are you most comfortable with, and that's where you can go faster, and the ones that you need time, you have time. Yeah, because that is, I mean, there is no hard and fast rule. Yeah, it does not apply like a blanket, you know.
Right.
It is depending upon the candidate's preparation level, candidate's comfort level, what he or she is strong in. So somebody may find in, let's say, I'm taking an example in language skills, reading comprehension, because there is a passage to be read, also read.
Right.
Some people are able to read the passage once and then answer the 4 questions that follow without going to the passage again. Some people
Right.
need to go through the passage again for every question. Yeah. Now it again depends upon the candidate's ability. Yeah. Some people are able to, once they read the passage, they know, oh, this question pertains to the 3rd paragraph. So I straight go to the 3rd paragraph, pick up and up, just go to that, read that again, answer the question. Yeah. Some people find in quant the calculations, yeah, take a lot of time. So you have to plan. Yeah. The official guide, which we come up, which we have for the NMAT exam, which it explains every topic. Yeah, what should you study in each topic? So
Right.
a lot of times candidates prepare for one exam and then give all exams assuming that it is the same, which is not true. Yeah, there are certain topics, there are certain questions which are different in all exams. You need to understand the structure, you need to understand the topics that are being tested. So it all depends upon how well prepared are you. Because it is a speeded exam. You have to answer 108 questions in 120 minutes. So if you don't time yourself well, you will lose out.
Right. Right. All right. So that is basically what we wanted to know about the adaptability of the test and what makes NMAT unique. There were a few myths that a lot of people would have had, which would have been cleared because of this discussion. So I'm sure that this was enlightening for a lot of takers of the NMAT.